What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic CM. It's episode number 113, and as we head into the penultimate episode of Season 8, as you can see, look at the league table on the back of our victory over Juventus to put us through to the first Champions League final of the save. Finally, after 8 seasons, we got one. We got Real Madrid, of course, in an El Clasico CL final for the first time in history. You see our final 4 games in La Liga, whereas you saw the league table there. As we know, we've been saying it for a while now, if we're to set a new points record, we cannot afford another loss. We need to win every single game but one, and if we don't win that game, then we need to get at least a draw. So yeah, 4 games to go, 4 wins will do it, as well 3 wins and draw. Basically, 10 points is what we need from 4 games. So, here's the first game of the final 4. We might have won the title, we might have won the Copa del Rey, we might have won this Super Copa, but of course there's 1 or 2 things we're going for, one of the 3 things we wanted at the start of the season. The undefeated season went pretty early after Atletico Madrid beat us early on in the season, but that new points record and of course the Champions League as well, something we haven't won in the save so far. So Sevilla at the Nou Camp on the back of a big win against Juventus, and this was a really frustrating game as well. Couldn't really create that many chances in this one. Sevilla played some fantastic defense. Also saw Tapsoba forced off on the stretcher in the first half. I just couldn't break them down, man. They were sitting so deep and they were defending so well. Pedro Porro fired over from range there out of frustration as we were still deadlocked at 0-0. And with 11 minutes to go in a game where I said we can't afford a loss in our final 4, otherwise mathematically we can't do it. Rashica gets on the end of a Douglas Luiz through ball and gives Sevilla the lead. And I was thinking, I can't believe it. 4 games to go and I've choked it. I lost my discipline. I started playing really poorly after that. I basically thought as though it was all over. And it not been for Ter Stegen making a great save here, denying Rashica his 2nd goal of the game, it would have been all over. But it just seemed like something switched in my mind. As soon as Ter Stegen made that save, I thought, right, well, if he's not giving up, I can't give up. So directly from that save, we got on the break. Keane rolls through Fati after I angled his run correctly, and Ansu with 2 minutes and 40 seconds of normal time to go. Well, if there was going to be a hero for us and keep our dreams alive, you know who it was going to be. Yes, Leandro might have come in this season and been amazing, but Fati is still our star in this team. 25th goal in La Liga, as he's currently just ahead of Leandro's teammate in the race for back-to-back golden boots, and in the end, that would do it. Final score, Barca 1, Sevilla 1. It's a slip-up. We could only afford 1 in our final 4, and it went in the very first game, but had it not been for Fati's late goal, that would have been it. We wouldn't be able to make the points record in the final 3 games. Unfortunately, after the game, as we knew our task now had gotten greater, had to win the remaining 3, it got even tougher. Tapsoba did his ACL, the 3 least favourite letters for me in FIFA CM, and he's done for, of course, the rest of the season and half of next season as well. And I love Edmund as well. The big Burkina Faso centre-half is just fantastic. Physically, he's just so strong, but defensively, he's just an absolute rock at the back, so aware of where the opposition forwards are. His marking and positioning just always seems to be perfect. As part of the back 3, that's so crucial. And he's not bad playing out from the back either. So Tapsoba with the ACL, he's done for the season. He'll miss the final 3 games and the Champions League final as well. Gutted about that. But for the second game of the final 4, staying in the Nou Camp now, taking on Getafe. Again, after that draw to Sevilla, we knew now we had to be perfect. No more slip-ups allowed, not even draws, otherwise the points target would not be met. We needed to win our remaining 3 games, and taking on Getafe here at the Nou Camp after the difficult draw against Sevilla, I was hoping for a bounce-back victory in this one. We got an injury early on through the lit. I didn't see where it was. I think it came during that corner there, as you saw it flash up in the top left, and more on that in a moment. But from the follow-up corner, we played on, we managed to get ourselves a chance, and we took it as well. Leandro with the finish. And I mentioned earlier, you know, whilst Leandro this season has been an incredible signing, and it just feels so great to have a youth player playing a prominent role in one of my teams. Finally, 8 seasons in, Fati is still the star, but Leandro still gets the job done as well. Our number 9 this season, we gave him the jersey. Obviously, we sold Tammy Abraham, that put Keane on the bench. Hard to drop Moise Keane after his sensational season with us last year, but I think we made the right call. Leandro has been brilliant this season in his debut year as our centre forward. Bags a brace in the first half, gives us a 2-goal lead, but Getafe would battle back 11 minutes after the restart. John Patrick with the finish going through 1-on-1 and making it 2-1. And I've got to be honest here, just like in the game against Sevilla, this was a really tough one as well. Another really challenging game. 14 minutes to go, still up by 1. Great save by the goalkeeper on Cucurella, and then this was just, well, I'm just going to shut up here and watch you watch this. bang. Oh, that was class. Mariba on the first time volleys the ball, drops out of the sky, makes it 3-1 and restores our 2-goal cushion. A bit of pinball football in the area there. Just the ball just never seems to be able to get clear by Getafe and Mariba. It's such a shame how, obviously, as we know, he left in this summer transfer window. Obviously leaving Barcelona, and there was a bit of a sour note for the way he left. As look at this as well. I mean, I knew this was going to be hard to do it this season, and it just gets hard. And Matthias de Ligt broke his toe. I'm not even entirely sure where it happened, but now Tapsoba is out for the Champions League final, as is Matthias de Ligt. I've told you this season, and I've meant it as well. Whilst we've been really, really good all across the competition we've been in, it's not been easy, man. It's been difficult. We've had a lot of adversity, and it continues in the final 4 league games this season. We're now missing our 2 best centre halves in Tapsoba and de Ligt for the remaining 2 games and the Champions League final as well. Yeah, it's such a shame that Mariba kind of left on a bit of a sour note from Barcelona, but such a great young talent. We've kept him here in the game, and whilst he doesn't play much, whenever he does play, barely puts a foot wrong. So here out to the points, 3-1 there against Getafe, and that will mean going into our final away day of the season. Celta Vigo on the road once again. The task was the same. We must win, otherwise it's over. So with no de Ligt, with no Tapsoba, I was worried about our defence after back-to-back games where we'd failed to keep a clean sheet in the league. Now taking on Celta Vigo, we've been in good form this season away from home. Ter Stegen once again bailing me out early and making a fantastic save. He is just so good in this game, man. And then 10 minutes to go before the break. Well, I mentioned it earlier. Ansu Fati, still the star of this team, makes it 1-0, gives us the lead. And just a few minutes after we went in front, Celta Vigo looked for their response. And I mentioned just a moment ago, it's been a very challenging season. Whilst it might not look that way, whilst we've already won 3 domestic trophies and we're going for a quad, something I haven't done in many, many years, it's not been as straightforward as it may appear. In a lot of our wins, we've had to grind them out. No exception for that last game, and in this game against Celta Vigo, their leveller. This was just, when I say inch perfect and happened in a flash, that's what I mean. That goal happened so quickly, I had to blink and watch on the replay to see it again, because I wasn't entirely sure how it went past Ter Stegen in such a flash. Celta Vigo found their level, and once again, we found ourselves in the same position as the last 2 games, tied and needing to find a winner. In the second half, Leandro missed a golden chance to restore our lead, and then just after the hour mark, he turned provider for Fati's second of the game, and this is why Keane was dropped to the bench. Even though he did nothing wrong, I knew that Leandro's creativity as well as his finishing would come in handy at some point. He's not a traditional number 9, even though he gave him the jersey. We're trying to train him to be more of an offensive threat, but I think his passing and his vision has been his best attribute this season. Great ball through to Fati. He restores the lead with his second, and then straight after that, Leandro says, yeah, I might not be a traditional number 9, but I'm still the second highest scorer in the league. Smacks it in for his third in 2, gives us a 2-goal cushion and some breathing room. And man, did I need that, because this was such a tough, really frustrating game. It just seemed as though once we got that second goal through Fati, things changed. No, Celta Vigo were playing quite well, but once I got the second goal for Ansu, then I was able to just breathe a little bit more, you know. Feel a little bit more confident, and soon after we went 2 and then 3-1 up, we went 4-1 up for a contender for goal of this season. Moise Keane on the halfway line with the chest, with the flick over the defender, then the agility and a burst of pace to beat another, and then go through 1-on-1 and have the coolest of the finish to make it 4-1 as well. Keane's 5th of the season in La Liga. Different type of season for Moise, but he's come big in so many games this season. Lest we forget that Champions League night away at Anfield, his best performance of the series that put us through to the quarter-finals. 4th goal there, wrapped up the points in a 4-1 victory. So that would mean for the final game of La Liga season, we would take on Levante at the Nou Camp. Only a win would give us the new points record. A draw would mean we'd fall 1 point short of joining the current points record of 100, as we'd finished with 99. So heading into the game, the past 3 very tough victories indeed, even though we won the last game by 3 goals here. 6 minutes in, this is what I needed. Pressure relieved. Leandro heads in a corner for goal number 25. And whilst we were going for the new points record, he and Ansu Fati were still battling one another for the golden boot this season. And just a few minutes after Leandro gave us the lead, he rolls it through to Dembele. Dembele rolls it through to Fati, and I thought that was so cool. Our front 3, the deadliest attack in the world right now, all getting involved in our second goal as Ansu gets another 2-0 Barcelona. And it was that moment I thought, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's been so tough and so challenging. It's come with a lot of adversity, but We're going to set the new points record. Or so I thought. 14 minutes to go. Shocking pass out from the back with Miguel with Eric Garcia and gifted Levante a route back into the game. But thankfully, despite conceding a clean sheet and that making it 5 straight games without a clean sheet in all competitions, we held on for the 2-1 victory, and there it is. When I tell you this has been a much tougher season than it might appear, believe me when I tell you, so many victories this season have been grind out wins, this one no exception, and there it is. We got 2 chances, we took them both, and there it is. Oh, I'm so happy. I don't think I've ever set a points record in La Liga before, but we've done it this season. 38 games, 96 goals, 21 conceded, 75 the goal difference, and 20 points clear of Atletico Madrid. But the most important statistic, 101 points. Barcelona's team have now set a new points record in La Liga. Ansu Fati retained his golden boot with Leandro right behind him, but Leandro did win the assist title with 18 in 32. A top 5 for assists for Barcelona players as well. De Jong, Cucurella, Fati and Dembele, the other 4 as part of the top 5. And Ter Stegen won back-to-back Golden Gloves, averaging 1 in every 2 games. Clean sheets, that is, 1 in every 2 games. Wow, I'm so delighted, man. I'm absolutely buzzing with it. But talk about getting snubbed. This Barcelona team should be, edged into history. But instead, we only had 3 representatives in the team of the season. Leandro, the skipper De Jong, and Ansu Fati. We only had 3 representatives in the team of the season. I really think Cucurella should have got there. Maybe I'm being biased, but even so, Fati won the Golden Boot. Goal of the tournament was, of course, Ter Stegen. So how he didn't get in the team of the season, I don't know. And Adeyemi won Player of the Tournament as well. I think it should be Fati or Leandro myself, but even so, there you go. It's done. 3 trophies won. We're going for that quadruple, something I haven't done in so many years playing FIFA. The Champions League final, our first of the save, and it's an El Clasico against Real Madrid as well. How fitting that is. But I won't say this episode of the Really CM, guys. Big thank you for enjoying it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the season finale, our final game of the campaign, the Champions League final, our first to save versus Real Madrid, very soon.